Hello. All right, so I want to give you another video on how to go about doing this course. So this video is for my students who are in Anatomy 2, which means you've already had Anatomy 1. So you may have had it on campus, you may have had it online, you may have had it with me, maybe somebody else. If you had it with me, it's set up exactly like it was before. So you might just want to skip this video. Whoops, my microphone. If you did not have me before, I'll walk you through kind of the expectations and how to do this course. Now, I will say one thing to my former students. If you had me for 201, there are less review activities and practice quizzes in 202 than there were in 201. So if you're looking for those, there's not that many there. Simply because in 201, that's the first science class a lot of students have. So I do a lot of hand holding, a lot of practices, and trying to keep people engaged and moving forward. But by 202, most people kind of have their own way of studying and have really figured out what they want to do. So you're going to see less of that kind of practice stuff. However, I do add things here and there. As I find them, I'll add them in. And a lot of the things that I have in my 201 course are actually some websites that students found and shared with me. So if you find a good review site that you think students might appreciate or enjoy, let me know. So again, you won't see as much review and practice quizzes in 202 as you did in 201, simply because you guys have, you've kind of figured out how to study and how to move along. So it gets you prepared for your next set of science classes, which have even less hand holding. So let me just go ahead and open up my Anatomy 2 class. And so again, if this is your first time with me, I just want to spend a few minutes kind of giving you my philosophy on how to approach the course. So again, every week log in and you'll see an announcement. It'll tell you, pay as a reminder and due dates and things like that. So be sure you're doing that. I also want you guys to use the discussion board to talk to each other. I monitor it. I respond if I see misinformation, but you guys need to use that to talk and discuss different topics. And so I will have some threads. I'm going to begin a couple of threads for you, but in 201 I have a lot of starter threads, but in 202 I just kind of let you guys do your own thing. So I'll start a couple and get you started, but otherwise, again, this is your study room for you guys to use. So as far as the content goes, these units are going to be divided. There's 5 units. You're going to cover blood and lymphatics and immunity. You're going to cover the heart and blood pressure and blood tracing, the endocrine system, reproduction, pregnancy and development, and then Unit 5 is kind of big with urinary respiration and digestion. Each unit has 3 weeks. I've divided it. It's a 15-week semester, so each unit takes 3 weeks to complete. And so the first week is videos for lecture and lab. The second week is videos for lecture and lab. And then the third week is going to be your exam week and time to study and do reviews. So in each unit, I've got it on instructor view. Let me turn it to teacher view. It looks like what you see. So for each unit, you have objectives. And so this is like these objectives, this is a study guide. Okay, so I encourage you to use this as a study guide. But I also give you more of an old-fashioned study guide. So between the two of these, you really should be using both of these to kind of organize your thoughts and make sure you're prepared for the exams. So the first thing you should do is, print off or write off your objectives and your study guide. There's going to be a study guide that's going to be a PDF that you can print off, and you'll have lab stuff. It'll kind of give you an idea about what the lab test will have, and the lecture exam. And I usually divide the lecture exam by chapters. And so you can go to your textbook, go to your videos, and you should be able to answer all these questions. So I encourage you to print these off first thing and start to answer these questions as you go through the videos. There's also, you don't have a real lab guide like you do on campus, so I've kind of made like a lab guide that's specific for my online students. And so if you'll click here, it'll give you the list of structures. So as you go through the lab videos, I'll be pointing out structures that you need to know, and I've also listed them on these forms, on these pages. And so you'll get that for each unit as well. So the way you do this is these are modules. You click on the module, and you just click through the modules. Okay, and make sure you read everything. If I spent the time writing it down, then it's something I feel like you should read. So make sure you read what's going on. It'll tell you kind of what to do, what your tasks are, and then you simply click forward. And I've got you know, again, some little notes here and there as reminders of what to do. So make sure you read everything. And then you're going to see things that look like this. Okay, and so for each video, I've attached the PowerPoint for that video with the individual video. So you can either open it as a PowerPoint or as a PDF. It's really up to you. The PDFs are going to look like this, so they're like little mini slides. But some people, they want the real PowerPoint, they want the big pictures. So if you want that, you can use that as well. It's really up to you and how you like to study. I encourage you to print off something to take notes as you watch the videos. Again, it's up to you which one you want to use, either the PowerPoint or the PDF. If your PowerPoint isn't opening, you have PowerPoint for free as a Calhoun student, so go to the Calhoun website and there is, actually I think you can go to the student resources on Start Here, I believe. And so Office 365, yeah. So if you don't have PowerPoint, you can get it for free right there. All right, so let me go back. Okay, so go to your content, just in case you're a new student without Microsoft, that way you know how to get it. So again, you click on that and you click through the modules, and so you'll click on the video. These should play. Again, people have different computers, different browsers, and so if it's not playing, you know, I like Chrome and Firefox, but maybe you have Safari or Internet Explorer. Just, you know, keep going through your browsers till you find the one that works the best for your computer. If for some reason it does not play, I also have the direct link, so you can just click on the link and go to YouTube and watch it there as well. So I've tried to make it as easy as possible for you to watch these. These YouTube links will play on your tablets, your phones, and everything else. So you watch a video, take notes, watch a video, take notes, watch a video, take notes. And I've tried to chunk these into about 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes less. I try not to do it more than 20 minutes so you don't fall asleep. And so I would, you know, take some time to watch 2 or 3 and then go to your textbook and kind of read about what you just learned. I think it's really good to you know, use your textbook and your video lectures and then look at your study guide and say, oh, she talked about that. Let me answer those questions. Okay? So each week we'll have, you know, 15, 16 videos. You simply go all the way through the module. I've got it set up too, so if you are coming back, you've maybe come in on Monday and now you're coming back on Wednesday to watch your videos, you can just go straight to it by clicking on the side. The very last thing will say, hey, don't forget to go do your mastering. All right, so at the end of each week, I would encourage you to start working on your mastering instead of letting it pile up at the end. There's a lot of it. All right, so you'll do that for week 1, you'll do that for week 2, and hopefully working on your mastering as you go along. All right, the last week is when you take your exams. And so you'll have a reminder, hey, did you do your study guide? It's a good time to, if you haven't done it, you need to do it because a lot of my exam questions, I tie those with my study guide and with those learning objectives, so make sure you're doing that. You'll also have some reviews. And so these are some practice reviews that we've put together that you can work on that cover everything that you need to know for the exam. So they've got quizzes embedded and things like that, so I encourage you to do these. This is not something that you want to wait till the last minute to do. So your exams are always going to be due on Thursday. Mastering is due Wednesday, exams are due Thursday. You need to be doing these reviews like, you know, Saturday, Sunday, Monday of the week of your exam so that you can say, ooh, I need to go back and review that. Okay, this is not a really great idea to do your mastering and all your reviews the night before the exam. It's too late to learn. So you want to kind of do these earlier in the week. Another thing I'll say about exams, they're due on Thursday, both of them, lecture and lab. You do not have to take them the same day. In fact, I encourage you not to do that. If you were my campus student, if we were like in a Tuesday, Thursday class, you would take your lab test on Tuesday, your lecture test on Thursday. It's a lot of information, so I encourage you to look at your schedule, get your mastering done like Sunday, Monday night, take one of your exams on, say, Tuesday or possibly Wednesday, then take the other exam on Wednesday, possibly Thursday. Now, I know some of you are having to come to campus, and that's why I let you take them the same day. If you've only got one day to come in, I understand. If you're taking it from home, though, I would try to split it up. That way you don't have so much information that you're trying to do. And I generally say take the lab tests first. All right? So the lab tests aren't open yet, but they will show up right here. So you'll see the lecture and lab tests will be in this folder, and you'll either go to the testing center or stay at home, and you'll take your test, and they'll be in this folder. All right. So once you take your exam, then you're ready to start the next unit. Okay. So that's basically what I want you to do. I'm going to have another video about how to use mastering, so I'm going to leave that for a second video. But let me give you some ideas about how much time this course requires. Again, if you didn't have me before, then this will be new to you. If you had me, then you're like, yeah, we know it takes a lot of time. So if you're on campus, okay, you're with me for 4.5 hours a week. So there's basically an hour and a half to, let's see, 2.5 hours of lecture, and then 2 hours of lab. So that's how much time you physically spend with me on campus, 4.5 hours. So you've got to spend at least 4.5 hours just watching videos and, you know, doing the material. That does not count studying. That is not studying, okay? So for every hour that my students on campus spend with me, they spend an additional 2 to 3 hours outside of that studying, doing their homework, reading in the textbook, and preparing. So that means they've got anywhere from 8 to 12 hours every week of studying outside of the time that they're with me. Okay? So that means you guys, you got to do your 4.5 hours of watching videos and preparing, plus another 8 to 12 hours of studying. All right? So you've still got to plan about, you know, 12 to 15 hours a week on this class. That's literally 2 hours a night, and that's what it's going to take, if not more. And 202 is difficult. It's not just memorization like 201. It's a lot more critical thinking, a lot more coalescing of information and putting things together. So it's a big time course. And it doesn't matter if I teach it or who else teaches it. It's just the nature of the beast. It's a huge course with a lot of information. One thing I would encourage you is you do have a calendar. And so make sure that you're checking in that calendar, and you'll have your due dates for not only mastering, they'll be listed on Wednesday, and your exams will be listed on Thursday. So that'll help you hopefully keep on task. So again, you need to watch videos, take notes, use your study guides and learning objectives as a guide for what you need to know. Use the discussion boards to, so let's just, for example, let's open up a study guide question. This is how you should be using the discussion boards. Let's say you look at the question, it says list the functions of blood, and you say, it's wet, it carries stuff. Well, yeah, maybe not your best answer, but if you're not really sure, if you're like, I really don't know what she means by that, post in the discussion board, hey guys, this is what I think she means by list the functions of blood. And some other student can say, that's what I thought. I also thought she meant this, or no, that's not right at all. I want you guys to discuss it. So if you have a question on the study guide, before you email me and say, hey, what does that mean? Put it in the discussion board, and you guys work it out. Because what I see is the students who work together and form these study groups, they do really, really well. So use that discussion board as your study group. Okay, so you can post anything from the study guide in the discussion board and discuss it. You can't discuss the exams. Okay, so if you've taken the exam, you can't go in and like I'm watching. So you can't talk about the exams. Say, oh, the essay question was X, Y, Z. Okay, so you can't do that. Obviously, that would be cheating. But you are welcome to discuss things prior to the exam. All right, so I'm going to cut this off. I think I've covered what you need to know. And again, most of you are old hat. This is your second semester, so you probably don't need to watch this video anyway. All right, well, thank you for watching. And again, now watch a short video on mastering to make sure that you're getting all you need to get out of mastering. And I will see you later in another video.